Beijing, when Tom, an American businessman, got a dream job building up a multinational company in China, he happily moved his young family there. Then the pandemic hit. Tom and his family traveled back to the United States, but in March last year, China sealed off its borders. Later, it even stopped issuing new passports to its own citizens to curb travel. He made it back to China by receiving a special letter approved by the mayor of the Chinese city he works in, but his family were not able to get permission to enter. He applied again and waited for them in China. You think, let's just try for one more month, but eventually that breaks down, says Tom. I'm depressed. The family's depressed. We just want to see each other. He finally had to relocate, at least temporarily. As of last month, he and his family has moved to Thailand where, for the first time in more than a year and a half, they can live together. Tom and his family are among hundreds of thousands of people stuck outside China, sometimes separated from loved ones or their livelihoods. Most of the people in this story, like Tom, asked us to use only their first name because they do not want to jeopardize their chances of getting back into China. Within China, antivirus measures are even more strict for residents than for international travelers entering the country. The appearance of a single Delta case can get an entire city locked down. Traveling from a place with Delta cases? That could be 3 weeks of hotel quarantine in cities such as Beijing. These are some of the ways China has been keeping new daily coronavirus infections to sometimes single digits. But with the highly contagious Delta variant now spreading across the country, some public health experts have begun to question whether China's zero tolerance can contain the pandemic long term, and whether it is worth the cost. China has excelled at identifying and isolating new infections while shutting down large swathes of the country if needed to block new clusters from growing. These complete lockdowns are effective at reducing total infections and giving hospitals time to prepare, but they require heavy sacrifices from those stuck inside. Socioeconomically vulnerable populations are hit the hardest. 2 or 3 week hotel quarantines for close contacts or those traveling from a region with active COVID cases must be paid out of pocket, a heavy expense for most citizens. And many of China's migrant workers, who power the country's service and e-commerce industries, have been unable to see their families in other cities because they fear being locked down away from their jobs if they were to return for a visit, and then end up in lockdown.